accuse somebody of something or you confront them about something, you're going to get what's called a DARVO response. The psychologists call it DARVO, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. And so the strategy, and it's usually employed by narcissists, even people with narcissistic personality disorders, is I deny that the accusation is actually true and I reverse, victim, offender the relationship. So I deny it's true, I attack you instead, I find something wrong with you, and I become the victim and you are now the offender. This happens all the time with really evil people. People who do very evil things, they'll do this in court. You've seen this in court. They deny any wrongdoing and they attack you and make you the bad person, and they reverse the victim-offender relationship. If you encounter a DARVO response, you are going to get nowhere. There's no rational argument to have. They're not going to sit down and ever realize anything. It's the hardest thing in the world, but you've got to back out of that relationship and just sort of survive it. Now, that doesn't mean you let people get away with horrible things. Let the police deal with that, let lawyers deal with that, but you personally are never going to rationalize with this person to a degree that they will realize they've done something wrong and apologize. If that's what you're fishing for, it's not going to happen. Know what DARVO is, and when you see DARVO, know you're not dealing with somebody you're going to build a relationship with.
Now let's see where we are with Talib Kweli in this conversation, in this video at least. Where are we? Now we know that Tom accused hip hop of influencing himself and others to do self-destructive things. Now, Talib Kweli has inserted himself as hip hop. He's the hip hop representative. So he's taking the personal offense to it. So the first thing he did was deny it. So far, Talib has responded to the accusations by denying the critique and calling to Tom MacDonald a liar. Now we're going to watch Talib go into the reverse victim offender relationship phase of his argument.
I watched a movie called Oppenheimer last night about a white man who made an atomic bomb that dropped on Japanese people because another white man genocided 6 million Jewish people. Killers of the Flower Moon is a movie about a great movie about a white men who go and pillage and steal from Native American people. Yesterday, a Trump fan from Philly decapitated his father because his father was voting for Joe Biden. That's like vanilla ISIS. You can't tell me that in the culture that he claims that he stands for, that there's no violence and sex. You can't tell me that. Anyone who supports Trump, like Tom MacDonald does in his music, after Trump's mugshot, after January 6th, after this man has been indicted for rape and has 91 felonies, you can't tell me about Blue Lives Matter. You can't tell me that you're about law and order. You're being a hypocrite. One more thing I'm gonna say about Donald Trump is that Tom MacDonald is an immigrant. Donald Trump just said immigrants are poisoning our blood here in America. Donald Trump uses white nationalist rhetoric from Mein Kampf and Hitler all the time, and this guy is a supporter of his.
So in order to do the reverse victim offender relationship, Talib Kweli pivots off of Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro and indicts all of whiteness. He indicted the whole white race. And he uses movies and the situation in Philadelphia, awful situation in Philadelphia. And then we even get Trump brought into it. All of these things he's using to do the reverse victim offender relationship. He's trying to make it like Tom MacDonald is this great offender because Oppenheimer, the movie, showed where one white man bombed Japanese people because what another white man did in Germany. These are the points that freaking Talib Kweli is making. I don't know how he's connecting these dots when it's concerning Tom MacDonald and him saying that, hey, hip hop music is pushing bad ideas. We're talking about, we got to Adolf Hitler. We mentioned Adolf Hitler twice, man. But yeah, man. So basically at this point, just based on everything that's unfolded so far in the conversation, Pierce is beginning to realize that Talib is a bad faith actor and that the conversation isn't going anywhere, not anywhere productive at least. So he brings up one more topic as a litmus test to see if Talib Kweli is capable or at least willing to reason.
Look, even you must admit, when John Legend goes out of his way to rewrite the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside because of the Me Too campaign, because he thinks it's about sexual assault, but doesn't rewrite any lyrics from any hip hop or rap song in the last 50 years, you've got to admit there is a ridiculous double standard there, isn't there?
I couldn't disagree more.
I think Talib Kweli going on the world stage and making these bad faith arguments to shield hip hop from critique, I think it's a bad move because hip hop culture is hurting black culture. We have to acknowledge that. And Talib Kweli he is perfectly willing to acknowledge that in a different type of setting. Well, if he's not willing to acknowledge that on the world stage, he shouldn't go on the world stage. He should say, hey, I'd rather talk about this on my platform with a panel of my choosing. He should not have gone on the world stage knowing that he was going to make bad faith argument after bad faith argument, because at the end of the day, the world is watching and the world knows how destructive hip hop is to society. They already know it. What are you shielding hip hop from? People, the emperor has no clothes. Everyone can see your naked ass. They know the destructive nature of hip hop. There's no point in trying to fucking protect it from outside critique just because you feel like the people making the critique are racist. That is childish and is stupid at the end of the day, in my opinion. Especially when we get to the root of the issue. The images, messages, and artists promoted in hip hop, those things aren't controlled by black people, and they're not controlled by white people either. Who controls it? We're not allowed to say.
It was a Jewish doctor.